Hello and welcome back to the finals from here from Llandow, round 3 of the Cadet, Junior and Bambino Kart Championship. Got some juniors out on the track at the moment. It's time, final time in Minimax. Harris Roberts and Andrew Dixon on the front row, Oliver Fabricius and Braith Murdoch on row 2. Then it's Daniel Hartley and Amy Peacock with Ellis Dealey and Ben Adrian on row number 4. Ewan House and Sonny Morgan round out your top 10. Max Greytrex and Charlie Lomas in front of Aston Brown and Leo Basterfield. Bella Fairclough and Tom Drake, Alex Lynn and Harry Friel. And it's going to be Maya Simpson, Zach Kane, Harry Warby and Tyler Davis field making their way towards the Raymond's hairpin for the first final of the day. Into the tram lines. Looks good. We're away and racing. It's not good. Not good. Looked okay, but the field towards the tail end not quite close enough, and the false start flags out at the first marshal's post here then at Llandow, and we're going to have to take a deep breath and do it all over again. So I've been out into the paddock during the lunch break to get some reports in as well. Amy Peacock, they had a quick look around the kart, realised that they were having a bit of front end issues. Turned out there was a crack in the chassis near the yoke, so during the lunch break that kart has had the engine taken off, it's been upside down, it's been welded back up, and Amy Peacock will roll off the third row in 6th place, sorry. She's on the Andrew Dixon side of the grid, so that's the even numbers, 2nd, 4th and 6th. So she rolls off P6 with a hastily repaired number 17 machine. Look out for Ben Adrian as well, just behind. He had that retirement and has had to charge his way back through the field. Into the tram lines they come this time. Looks a bit better, and we are away and racing with Harris Roberts leading from Oliver Fabricius, who's managed to jump Andrew Dixon to start from Braith Murdoch, and then Dylan Hartley. Got 3 drivers off into the tyres. One of them is Bella Fairclough. Aston Brown is the other, and it looks like the other could be the, keeping an eye out for the 3rd one. Could be Harry Friel in the 84 car. Fairclough is finally free of the tyres and rejoins there in the 15. Top 4 moving away ever so slightly with Braith Murdoch in the 4th place. On the tail of this one, Fabricius pushing Harris Roberts, then Dylan Hartley coming off the racing line so he can get slightly sideways on the brakes late. And they come over the line for the first time. It's Roberts from Fabricius, then Dixon with Murdoch, Hartley, House, Peacock, Greytrex, Adrian and Sonny Morgan rounding out your top 10. Last 3 over the line are the 3 that were involved in that opening lap incident. So it looks like it was Friel, Brown and Fairclough as we predicted. Away. See them bouncing up and down there. That's the rumble strip on the outside. It looks quite smooth when you're walking the track, but when you're an inch off the floor in a kart with no suspension, early radiator flap adjustments for Fabricius in 2nd and Murdoch. They're not running in clean air. I'm conscious that the temperatures aren't coming up on that one, so as Dixon tries to do a little bump and run on Fabricius. The final's out to 12 minutes plus 1 lap, rather than the 8 minutes plus 1 for the heats. So important for both our Minimax and Junior Rotax later on to preserve tyres. And they could well, if they go early, they could find themselves defending hard towards the end of the race when the rest of the field's tyres come in. Top 10 there, all in a straight line. Back to Max Greytrex, who's a little bit off the back of Sonny Morgan. Harris Roberts with the fastest lap of the race, suggesting he might have gone early on tyre pressures to try and break away from the field behind. The only driver to, not the only driver in fact, drop into the 45. Fabricius not too far back on time either. The 2 of them still leading from Dixon and Murdoch, and there's about another 7 tenths back to Ewan House. showing in 5th place in the 26 kart. There he is, just coming into shot now in front of Daniel Hartley. Top 4 just feeling each other out in the early part of this race, with not even to a point yet where the other race would have started. Dixon down the inside of Fabricius, into the hook. The heat's all 8 minutes, so this first 4 minutes effectively free in terms of track time for our runners. We'll never get into the phase where they're doing a session that's a lot longer than what they're used to. The adrenaline beginning to wear off towards the end. Roberts now will have Andrew Dixon to contend with, rather than Oliver Fabricius, who seemed a little bit more content just to sit and push in the early phase of this race. So make their way down to the bottom end at Raymond's. Ben Adrian is up into 7th, now up into 6th, although we're over the line almost exactly with Dylan Hartley. Hartley still in 6th, Adrian 7th, Sonny Morgan up into 8th in front of Amy Peacock now. And with Max Great-Trex completing the top 10, a second or so behind, holding off Ellis Dealey and Leo Basterfield. See them there in the background, it looks like Basterfield trying to find a way past both Dealey and maybe even Great-Trex as well. Keep an eye on that when they come over start finish, or if you're looking at live timing in around about 30 seconds, it's live.alphatiming.co.uk/BKC. Thank you for everyone that's joined us on the live chat as well. We'll get back into that shortly after the lunch break if there's some traction. Fastest lap of the race this time for Sonny Morgan. In 8th place, trying to close in on Dylan Hartley, needs half a second. There he is in the number 1 machine. Gap looks a lot closer than half a second though, so looks like he's had a good run through the hook down towards the left-hander at Surtees. Harris Roberts through the left and then to the right at Diggers, down the back straight he goes. Still holding a gap from Andrew Dixon as now Sonny Morgan goes down the inside of Hartley. Moves himself up into 7th place. Ben Adrian responds in front with the fastest lap right on the back of Ewan House. It'll only be a matter of time here. Ben Adrian picking drivers off in front of him. Unfortunate earlier on with the 3 laps that he spent in the pit lane, came back out there and just set fastest lap after fastest lap. And now heading towards the top 5. So head down towards the bottom end of the circuit at Raymond, or past the commentary position there on the right hand side in the timing tower. She's just about made out. Ben Adrian has indeed found a way past Ewan House there for 5th place. Got to start hoping that those in front begin to battle now, does Ben Adrian. Harris Roberts, Andrew Dixon, Oliver Fabricius and Braith Murdoch in front. It's pretty much been as you were, with the exception of Dixon and Fabricius swapping places on lap number 3. And run down then towards Raymond once again. This one seems to have just taken a breath. Warning for the 14 of Braith Murdoch. Being shown over the start-finish line. Not sure what that may well be for, although he has only had Fabricius in front. Hasn't looked close enough really through there, but now Ben Adrian is indeed closing in. On the previous lap was just under 2/10 quicker. Ewan House and Sonny Morgan just a little further behind. We'll keep an eye out as to now. I think it's Morgan in front of Ewan House, so Morgan will be looking to close in on the back. Down to Raymond's now. It's a top 5, although the top 2 starting to break away now because Fabricius is having to defend from Braith Murdoch. Really needs Adrian to find a way through, as we've got Tyler Davis facing the wrong way in the 82 down there at Raymond's hairpin. He's going to drop down behind Zach Kane. So drop Davis down to 90, which is where he was anyway, so looks like that could have been a self-inflicted spin. Having said that, does look like Kane made up a place, so it could be the two of them came together. Ben Adrian is right on the back of Braith Murdoch here, down the back straight towards Raymond's, and then we'll try and get a cutback over start-finish. Not quite enough though for Ben Adrian to draw alongside Braith Murdoch. Still 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. We'll need to get a move on though, because Sonny Morgan is trying to charge through the field. Had the pace to run right at the front as Morgan, with the exception of the disqualification in heat number 1. Which means is why he's starting to come through the field now, is Sonny Morgan in the number 1 machine. Just off the back of this battle, as we see Ben Adrian drawing alongside, and he's through on Braith Murdoch as they enter the Dell. Round Diggers onto the back straight, and then Sonny Morgan is right with them there in the all-black machine with the white side pods. Looks black from nose on, blue race suit as well for Sonny Morgan. Coming to play in this battle inside the top 6. Fabricius, after a few laps of falling away off the back of Harris Roberts and Andrew Dixon, has been drawn back into this battle once again for the lead. Chipped away a 10th at a time, and the top 3 are now going to be joined as well by Ben Adrian. Sonny Morgan, don't count him out of this one. Braith Murdoch as well in 5th, but Morgan looks to have a little bit more pace. Just has to try and find a way through early enough to give himself an opportunity to challenge for a top 3 here at Llandow. Out onto the hanger straight, down towards Raymond. Sonny Morgan sends it down the inside of Braith Murdoch, gets it stopped. Murdoch though with a cutback, as Morgan carried too much speed into the corner. He's back through into 5th. Those two battling will give those in front a little bit more respite to battle between themselves over the top 4. Adrian with the fastest lap once again, pushing through onto the back. Andrew Dixon gets a good run out of Macworthers. The run down towards Chandler's. Can Dixon get alongside? Andrew Dixon is through and leads with just under a minute and a half to go. Fabricius as well, squeezed to the inside. Then Ben Adrian is forced out wide as they all come together. The concertina effect for Ben Adrian, and he's been squeezed out of the top 5. Sonny Morgan's going to come down the inside here, is he? And then there's a little bit of contact into the side of Braith Murdoch. That's going to allow Ben Adrian back through, up into 4th place. An absolute jumble of a lap for everybody there. You could not throw a dice and roll the same number with those drivers on there in that order. Sonny Morgan tries another move back down the inside of Harris Roberts, into the left-hander down there at Surtees. Those behind are back in the mix as well. Maya Simpson with a penalty in 15th place, but the lead battle has allowed House, Hartley and Peacock back into the mix. Not too far back. Out at the front though now, Andrew Dixon, with that move between Oliver Fabricius and Harris Roberts, has given him a bit of a gap. Ben Adrian is going to come down in 4th place. Sonny Morgan tries to move down the inside of Harris Roberts. He's through down the inside, and he's through nice and cleanly. Ewan House immediately onto the back of Harris Roberts, with Dylan Hartley and Amy Peacock rounding out the top 9, all running nose to tail, with Ellis Dealey a little further back, coming under pressure from Max Gray Trex. Some half a second. Last lap board will be out next time for your race leader Andrew Dixon, with a gap of just under a second as it stands on timing at the moment. Fabricius in 2nd place, Murdoch and then Ben Adrian. They head down towards the right-hander at the Dell and Diggers, onto the back straight. Adrian not quite close enough this time on Braith Murdoch to try and move down the inside. Sonny Morgan once again trying a move on Harris Roberts, who is back in front. Harris Roberts holds on, and Ewan House is going to have an opportunity to get down the inside of Sonny Morgan. Morgan is going to be tight, and that's going to give Hartley and Peacock an opportunity to run through as well, just behind. And Ben Adrian is through on Braith Murdoch, and Ben Adrian up into 3rd place. Into the right-hander down there at Chandler's for Ben Adrian, and he's got a decent run, I think, on Fabricius in the background. Andrew Dixon will come down the back straight with only one more corner to go. Fabricius will defend to the inside. Ben Adrian on the outside in the background. Andrew Dixon will come through to take victory here at Llandow. There's contact between Ben Adrian and Oliver Fabricius, and Murdoch will come through for second place. Adrian and Fabricius third and fourth respectively, with Harris Roberts and Sonny Morgan. Top 10 coming through with Ewan House, Daniel Hartley, Amy Peacock and Ellis Daly. Penalty applied already for Ben Adrian. Here we go then for this final corner move. Fabricius is on the inside, Adrian on the outside. Then Adrian with a little bit of a bump and run, gets down the inside, carries too much speed. That forces Fabricius wide. Adrian comes through. I imagine at the very least those two places will be swapped back around. Braith Murdoch though inherits second place behind Andrew Dixon. At least on track it was Dixon, Murdoch, Adrian, Fabricius and Roberts. We'll wait for the final classified standings on that one. So the final corner move from Adrian on Fabricius.